Let's do some maintenance on the SSG11. What do we need to do on a regular basis with the sniper rifle is definitely cleaning the barrel with some rubbing alcohol to make sure that we are getting the most accuracy. That's the number one thing we will do. And also we will lube the piston head on the inside of the cylinder, because if that one gets too dry, the power of the replica will drop a little bit. So we don't want that. We want maximum power. That's what we will take care of in this video. First things first, before we get started, make sure there is no magazine, no BBs anywhere near you. We don't want that. We will check that this is in fact, no magazine is inside, and we will fire one shot in a safe direction at a target just to make sure that the chamber and the barrel is also empty. So let's do that real quick. Now we know there is no BBs anywhere inside. First things first, we will clean the barrel. Now, since the cylinder removal is so easy, we will just remove it. We pull back here in the trigger guard, and now we will be able to remove the cylinder. We will set it aside. That's what we will need later. And now we will prep our stuff for cleaning the barrel. We can, of course, use the NOVRITSCH maintenance kit. Here we have everything that we will need for this particular maintenance. These cloth tissues, they are good because they don't leave residues or as many residues as a regular paper towel. Also, some people don't like to use these because there could be more abrasives in this, and that could potentially scratch your barrel. I never found that to be the case, and also I want to make this video as universal as possible. Maybe you don't have the maintenance kit, maybe you only have rubbing alcohol and some oil somewhere. So let's do it the simple way. We will use these and, rubbing alcohol and some silicone oil. So let's take one of these or the cellulose wipes on the inside of the maintenance kit. We will fold this particular one twice. I found that usually gives me exactly the right thickness of the patch that I need. And we will cut a few stripes that are about 1 centimeter-ish wide. I will do 2, you might need more, depends how dirty the replica is. I will keep the rest because I'm gonna use it actually to wipe off excess alcohol. We will use this cleaning rod that comes with the rifle, or if you want to, there is a foldable cleaning rod right in the maintenance kit, so you can assemble that one. Again, I want to make this as universal for everyone as possible. So let's go ahead, use what we got with the replica. What we don't want is the patch should not be as long as to reach this thicker end. If it reaches all the way here, it could jam inside of the replica, not what we want. So what I usually do, I just cut the ends off because I want to be sure that it's not too long. We will take our rubbing alcohol and we will put a little bit on the patch from all sides. This one will dissolve any dirt, any lubricants that might end up on the barrel or on the bucking. We don't want that. Now I like to just roll it to rub the excess, to wipe off the excess. I don't want too much of rubbing alcohol there. Now you have two different options. You can go from the front, or since we don't have the cylinder, I like to, if I can, I like to go in the way how the BB travels to push everything out the barrel just like I would be shooting. We have pretty good access to it, so I'm gonna do it from the back. Now I can also decrease the hop up a little bit, not too much, just a few clicks. I'm gonna decrease it because I don't want high pressure on it. I don't wanna rip it. Decrease the hop up by a few clicks. And now we will just go inside and we will find the barrel. It's actually quite easy. Already feel that I could find it easily. It's in there. And now I'm just gonna push the cleaning rod to the inside. Now what might happen is that the cleaning rod is not long enough to go from the back, but that's okay. If I push a little bit with my finger, it will already pop out right here. And you will see that it is actually quite dirty. So if you see something like this, definitely repeat the process at least one more time until we get a clean patch. We will speed up this part because it's going to be exactly the same what I've just done. All right, the patch is now quite clean. Of course, you can repeat this as many times as you want, but I would call this a pass. So now we have clean barrel, clean bucking with no lubricants on it. This is what you can do after pretty much every single game if you really want this to be as accurate as possible. If you want to only do it maybe once a month, every 2 games, 3 games, you can absolutely do that. It's not super necessary to do it all the time. Again, up to you. Now we will loop the piston inside of the cylinder. For that, we will use this tool right here. This one is to actually unscrew the cylinder head. So we just do that, we give it a turn, and now we can just continue with our fingers. All right, now this is the important part that we are interested in, and you can see that it's not exactly lubricated. It seems quite dry. So let's just wipe off some possible dirt that might got in there, dust, whatever we have. And now we will lubricate this. Now, depending on what you have, you can use some thick silicone oil. You could also use grease. Basically, we just need to loop the edge a tiny little bit on the side. That's all we need to do. Of course, if you already shot thousands of BBs from this, you can also go ahead and wipe the inside. It's a little bit hard to get there without a tool, but this is how you can do it. You can just put this in and kind of try to get it in there. Be careful not to cut yourself. It happened to me before. If you push your skin against this edge and you rotate, you can cut yourself. So be careful if you do this, or maybe you can use this, wrap it around it, use it. Up to you. You've been warned. Be careful not to cut yourself. Just make sure you don't push your skin against the edge. All right, we wiped it. You see that it could use a little bit of cleaning. Of course, you can take a little bit more time than I do, but I don't want you to sit on a video for 20 minutes. So let's put this back and let's loop this thing. I will take some thick silicone oil. I'm gonna put it on my finger and I'm gonna circle around the edge of the seal just like that. We don't need to put it anywhere on the front because that could result in getting into the nozzle and onto the hopper bucking while you shoot. We don't want that. Here it's perfectly fine on the side. You can also do the rest on the glide rings, these plastic pieces, just to give them a little bit of lubrication. Once they are inside, it will spread it around and you will be good to go. This is all you need to do. We just close it again. Alternatively, if you see that this O-ring is a little bit too dry, you can also put a tiny little drop on there just to keep this O-ring nice and fresh. Lubricate it, go around it. Now we will wipe anything that might have stuck to our fingers. We don't want it anywhere near the bucking. All right, put it back in place. We take our tool and we close it again. And at this point, we are pretty much done with the maintenance. We just put the bolt back in place and we will shoot a couple of shots at this point. What you should do is to shoot a few BBs. If you notice that the accuracy is not there, that you cannot hop the BBs, it might have happened that you put a little bit too much lubricant and it got into the bucking and the barrel, thus pretty much destroying your hop-up effect. You would need to take it out, clean the barrel again. Don't loop anything else, just clean the barrel again, and then you will be good to go. The hop-up will come back and you will have an accurate replica. If you've done it exactly like I done, nothing will happen. Very unlikely that any oil will get where it shouldn't be. Only if you overdo it, maybe on accident, maybe you do it for the first time. It's okay, just clean the barrel. Of course, now since we decreased the hop-up, you would put it back about the same amount of clicks that you decreased it before. All right, this is the maintenance of the SSG11. It's pretty simple. We managed in a couple of minutes.